Good evening and welcome to the May 18th Town Board meeting. I'd like to continue on with our communications and would ask our clerk, Mrs. Steckloff.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I have two other announcements. One, the town of Penfield, in conjunction with the Monroe County Health Department, will be hosting its free annual rabies clinic on Saturday, June 4th from 10 a.m. till noon. That will be at the Penfield Sewer Garage, 1607 Jackson Road. Both dogs and cats will be vaccinated if they are at least 3 months of age. Dogs must be leashed and cats must be in carriers. And for more information, please call 340-8616. Lastly, I'd also like to remind our residents that the mobile DMV has been canceled at our town hall for Tuesday, May 24th. So that's May 24th, due to the assessor's office occupying the space that day. But the DMV will resume its Tuesday services at the town hall on May 31st. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Quinn.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Next Thursday morning at 9:30 over in Courtroom A at the Community Center, the Senior Citizen Police Academy will be holding their graduation. Some of you may recall when we first made these announcements back in late winter for seniors in the community to join the Police Academy, Senior Citizens Police Academy, through Penfield Recreation Department and the Monroe County Sheriff's Department, and also take field trips down to various facilities in Rochester and also around the county, just to kind of learn a little bit more about the public safety and emergency response angle. Tours included public safety building, public safety training facility, police stables, and the emergency operations center. I'm sure they all had a very enjoyable time and learned a lot, but next Thursday morning will be their graduation at 9:30 in the morning. The second announcement I have this evening is my next office hours are Saturday, March 21st. They will be at the Dunkin' Donuts at Lloyd's Corners, which is the intersections of State Routes 250 and 441, 8:30 in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning. So please come by, and if you have any concerns or questions or suggestions, I'd love to have something to eat and a cup of coffee with you. In the meantime, you're always welcome to contact me before and after by email, quinn@penfield.org, or by phone at 944-5752. Those are my announcements this evening.
Great, thank you. Just a couple of items. The first one is with regards to Monday, May 30th, here at our amphitheater, just behind the town hall here, Veterans Park. At 10:30, we'll have our annual ceremony of remembrance, and we've got a guest speaker that will come in and address the audience. We also have our Parade of Roses, which has turned out to be a bigger event each year, and it'll be a very nice presentation. And I think the community has really enjoyed this program over the last several years. The second item is just an update, and I think we've got a little bit of film on this on Willow Pond. The Willow Pond, which is in the southern part of our town, that pond was declared a dam by the DEC, and required us to remove all of the trees. As part of that, it's one of the New York State unfunded mandates that pass on to local government. So we had to go in and take all of the trees down in that area that could create problems to the earthen dam. We have finished that, and we've got it rough graded, and we have met the requirements of the DEC. The second item, and we have some film on that as well, is the Ruoff property on Empire Boulevard. There is some property that the town owns, formerly the Zimmerman property. We developed that into a small park. And then recently we started to go in and clean up the Ruoff property. We purchased that a number of years ago. When we purchased it, we recognized there was some contamination, and we wanted to get that cleaned up along the waterfront. So our crews, working very closely with DEC, completed that decontamination this week and have gotten everything backfilled. We'll now level that off and plan it and expand our park. You'll see the rain for rent. We had to take the water out of the holes that we were taking a look at for petroleum and mercury, and run it through those tanks before we could put it into the sewer. But a nice effort by our highway department, and this will fulfill our requirement as the purchase of this property. So great work, and it'll be a great asset down in that area in the years to come.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The Penfield Annual Taste of Penfield will be held this year on Friday, June 3rd at 5 p.m. at the Penfield Amphitheater. Come with your family, children, friends, neighbors, sample some of the treats from Penfield restaurants. The tasting will open at 5 p.m. Tickets will go on sale at 4:30 p.m. and the Penfield High School Jazz Ensemble will play between 5 and 8 o'clock. It's always a really good time. Please come and support our local restaurants here in Penfield. Penfield Little League will be hosting their second annual Honoring Our Heroes event. There'll be a brief ceremony on Saturday, May 28th at 9 a.m. at the Zabkar Field right down there by Rose's Cafe at the Penfield Baseball Complex. Rothfuss Park Farm Walk. Kids can participate in this activity while visiting Rothfuss Park. Explore the park's farm walk, look for the red box in the playground, and pick up a farm walk pass. This is basically the walking path around the park. There's little activities for kids to do. Sometimes there's some stickers, some stamps, and some coloring books. It's a great way to get out there with your children, get some exercise, and have some fun.
Didn't you do it last year?
I did do it last year with my 4-year-old son. This program runs from June, July, and August with a different theme each month. And then also we'd like to recognize a hotel here in Penfield. The Courtyard by Marriott in Penfield won the Diamond General Manager Award for its general manager, Jeff Shutt, and the Platinum Circle Award for finishing the year in the top 5% of all Courtyard hotels in overall guest satisfaction surveys. It also was awarded the Responsive to Guest Needs Award nationwide. Congratulations to the Courtyard Marriott here in Penfield.
Excellent.
I have several announcements, too, regarding theater in Penfield. The first is the Young, Open, and Honest Players comic sketch called The Dining Room. It will be held Friday, June 3rd and Saturday, June 4th at 7 p.m. at the Community Center. The Dining Room is a comic sketch of family life told through a touching vignette scanning decades of American experience around the ever-familiar dining room table. Tickets are available at Penfield Recreation Office starting on May 27th or at the door of at the performance date. They're $10, adults are $10 and $7 for students and seniors. And also, this is the last weekend of the Penfield Players Horse Sense, May 20th and May 21st at the Community Center. Pre-sale tickets are $12 and can be purchased at the Penfield Recreation Office. I went last week, and so did Supervisor LaFountain. It's excellent, and it's very interactive this year. I mean, you might end up on stage if you don't watch yourself. My husband was up on stage. It was it wasn't expected, but it was a lot of fun. It's a good time. It's a melodrama, and it's always fun to support the Penfield Players. And my next community chat, I had one last night, and my June chat will be Saturday, June 11th. I'm going to be over at Brugger's Bagels on 250 at Penn Fair Plaza from 9 to 10:30, if you'd like to come and talk. And finally, I have here, she's in the audience. I asked her if she wanted to speak to this, but she's going to speak of something else. Our Penfield Town historian, Kathy Knauer, will lead the annual Memorial Day walk at Oakwood Cemetery. She's going to do it on Friday, May 27th at 7 p.m. We will start the grave sites of some of the Penfield Civil War soldiers. This year is the start of the 4-year sesquicentennial remembrance of the Civil War. The event is sponsored by the Penfield Heritage Association. And that's all I have.
Great. Thank you very much.